I just wanted to come on and talk a little bit about kind of my views on self-care and where we can go with that and things that we can do today. And they're the things that I advocate myself, the things that I tell my patients to do, the things I get my friends and my family doing, even my husband does this stuff. So the best things that you can do, my attitude towards everything is that everything is energy, everything is frequencies. What's the most abundant source of energy out there? The sun. Get out in the sun. It is freaking awesome, guys. Okay, so you get out there, and if you can possibly do it, see the sunrise, okay, because it resets your circadian rhythm. It helps to turn the clock back in the eyes. So if you're having trouble sleeping and things like that, it's the sunlight hitting the retina that promotes a series of events that go on and gets the brain thinking that it's morning time. Also, see the sunset as well, if you can do. So it's those two types of light, the dim light and the bright light, that gets our circadian rhythms focused and kind of back in sync. So if you're having trouble sleeping, then that's definitely one for you. Also, get out into the sun for at least 30 minutes a day. Now, I'm not talking about midday sun. It did warm up a little bit out there today, thank goodness. But I'm not talking about, blistering yourself in the midday sun. What I'm talking about is getting out there when you get the UV levels are increasing, so that you can produce some of that lovely vitamin D, so that you can get the vitamin A production in the retina, so that you get all these processes going in the body. Do it barefoot, get on the ground, ground yourself, then you get the recharging effect from the sun coming down and the earth coming up, because essentially it's like recharging a battery. Think about all those lovely electrons and so on that are going to be recharged. Drinking water. Everybody's always talking about water, but water is so important for you, so super important. You're mostly made up of water. It's a conductor in the body, and it helps all these electrical signals. There's bioelectrical stuff that's going on inside us that's telling all of our systems what to do. It helps all of this function. It helps it work so much better. So drinking water. You need to be making sure that you're regulating these circadian rhythms, because all the processes and hormonal events that go hand in hand with that mean that you can actually get the water into your cells, which is the most important part. So you're not cellularly dehydrated. Okay, reduce your sugars. Certainly, definitely reduce your sugars. Not because I'm anti-sugar, not because I don't like sweet things for myself, but actually it's an inflammatory agent. So if you have health problems, if you have things going on in your system, if you have anything that is a sense of dis-ease in the body, or there's a dysfunction or pain and inflammation, anything like that, reduce your sugars, because it's just proliferating that inflammatory cycle that you don't need to keep having going in the body. We need to try and limit that. So that's one thing you can do. Eat foods that are in season. This is the easiest way of getting away from having processed crap in your diet. So we don't want to have the processed stuff, because it's when it's been through these heat treatments, these packaging treatments, where it's been kind of filled full of fillers. So it's having stuff put into them, anything that's kind of processed. And a little bit of this is not going to do you any harm at all, but it's when it makes up the bulk of your daily diet. So think about what's in season. We have the time now to invest a little bit of energy into that sort of stuff. If you're out there doing the garden, maybe have a little vegetable patch. I know of 3 people that are quite close to me that have just got allotments for the first time ever, and they're now growing their own stuff because they have the time to initiate this now. So it's a great time to start planting things if you want to do that. If not, get on Google. It's a fabulous resource that's free. And look at what is seasonal and what you can be eating, what you can be looking for when you go to the shops. We're trying to bridge a gap between what we are intaking and what we should be intaking. So fruit and vegetables is a massive thing for me. It's wholesome, it's nutritious, the phytochemicals that are in there, and the government says 4 a day, but actually research says that we should be eating up to 30 a day. So how can we do that? If you reach out to me, I can tell you so many simple strategies and ways that you can do that. But there's lots of things that you can do to bridge that gap between what you are eating to what you should be consuming in your diet. And all of this is about health promotion. It's about performance of the body, not necessarily sports and exercise performance, but performance of the body, making sure that it's doing for you, making sure that you're giving it everything that it needs to be optimized, to do things for you in an optimal way. So it's become efficient and it's doing all these wonderful jobs that it has to do in the best way possible. If you're having issues sleeping, turn off your technology. Now, it's a great time to be sat at home, you know, some days just watching TV and so on, stick Netflix on, films, whatever it is. But actually, if you can turn that off for an hour, 2 hours before you go to bed, and what happens is your nervous system down-regulates itself, and that is getting you up, getting you ready for that relaxation, that restful period for sleep time. And it's just helping the body ease into that. So it's a great thing that you can do there. And the best advice for you to promote your health: when do we regenerate? When do we recuperate? When is our body resting and allowing us to do all this? When we're sleeping. Try and get between 7 to 8 hours sleep in. Now, it's difficult, I know, when you've got young children. It's difficult if you've got a partner that snores. It's difficult if you've got stuff going on in your lives. You know, sometimes I'll be working and I'll look at the clock and it's 2 o'clock in the morning. Things happen, but as long as you're not doing this regularly, as long as you are fitting in some time to get that rest and relaxation in and aiming for 8 hours a night, then you are well on your way to good health, and you're well on your way to optimizing the processes that go on inside your body every single day without you thinking about them. All these hundreds of millions of things that are going on to keep you alive, to keep you functioning, to keep your systems going, so that we can do the things we want to do, the things that we don't have to think about are happening all the time. And you can see I'm quite passionate about this, because everything that goes on inside the body affects what result we get, affects the things that go on in our system. So if I could say one thing to you, to get some more sleep.